13 News Now begins with breaking news.
And breaking news out of Richmond. Governor Terry McAuliffe will not step in to spare the life of William Morva before tonight's execution. McAuliffe issued a statement saying he has declined a clemency petition in Morva's case. The governor says he did not find a substantial enough reason to intervene. Morva is scheduled to receive a lethal injection at 9 o'clock tonight.
This is by far the hardest part of my job. I review each case. As you know, the last individual, I commuted it to a life sentence because there was fault laid as it related to the sentencing. I look at every case. I have to, as governor, enforce the laws and the books of the Commonwealth of Virginia. I personally do not support the death penalty.
Morva was arrested in 2005 on accusations that he tried to rob a convenience store. He was taken to a hospital to treat an injury, then attacked a sheriff's deputy, stole the deputy's gun, and shot an unarmed security guard before fleeing. A day later, Morva shot another sheriff's deputy and was later found in a ditch with the deputy's gun nearby. Morva's attorneys say he was under the influence of delusions when he killed the two men.
More breaking news. The case of a missing psych patient, and investigation is now underway into the Virginia Beach Psychiatric Center. 13 News Now learned a man left the center Tuesday without permission. That facility is near First Colonial Road and Old Nation Parkway. The Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services is now investigating. Virginia Beach police say nothing criminal happened in this incident. They are looking for the missing patient. Developing now out of Virginia Beach, a juvenile was shot in the shoulder.
Happened around 9 a.m. on Back Acres Court. That's east of Great Neck Road. Our Jacqueline Lee joins us live from the scene with details on the shooting. Jacqueline.
Well, Janet, police cars were scattered around this cul-de-sac earlier this morning as officers tried to figure out why a kid was shot inside this home over here. Now, police tell us that they got the call around 9 o'clock that someone was shot, and when they responded, they found it was just a kid. Now, neighbors around here don't know why someone would shoot at a child here in this neighborhood. They say that it's quiet, and they told me that in that home, there are two boys that live with their mother. One boy is in middle school. They said he's between 12 and 13 years old. They said the other one is either 17 or 18, and frankly, they're baffled as to why this happened.
They're quiet. I hardly ever hear them next door. They're good neighbors.
And police say the juvenile was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And just a few minutes ago, a family actually walked out of that home. There was a young boy in an arm sling, and I asked him, were you the one shot? Can you give us any details? And he said no media interviews. Live in Virginia Beach, Jacqueline Lee, 13 News Now.
We are feeling another round of hot and humid days across Hampton roads.
Take a look at the Virginia Beach ocean front where people are enjoying this perfect beach weather. And while the radar looks clearer now, we could see some rain later this evening. Jeff is tracking the system. Jeff.
Yeah, and you notice those temperatures, those heat index values, it feels like anywhere from the mid-90s to even around 100 in a few spots. Right now, some fair weather cumulus. These aren't the kind of cumulus that are towering cumulus, as we call them, that go high up into the atmosphere. So we're not looking at any storms around right now. Of course, we had the thunderstorms that came through earlier in the morning. We had talked about those yesterday. Now things have quieted down. But whenever you have heat and humidity, you have all the ingredients. You just need something to lift the atmosphere. And we're going to get that a little bit later tonight as a weak disturbance moves in from the west. You can see a couple of showers starting to show up out there around South Boston. And west of there, even more significant activity. It is headed to the east. But again, it's going to take a while to get here. So the odds of seeing a shower over the next several hours, let's say even before sunset, are pretty low. There at most should be one or two very, very isolated showers. After about 9 o'clock, the odds definitely start to go up, and you can see that. Here we are with low odds, but high temperatures as we go through 5, 6, 7 o'clock, and then we start to dip down a little bit, but the rain chances go up 30%, 40%, probably even above 50% once we get past midnight. So we'll talk about a hotter forecast in the short term, give you the rain chances for tomorrow afternoon, and let you know all the specifics coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
All right, the man accused of going on a crime spree in Hampton Roads faced a judge today through a camera.
James Gregory was arrested last month in connection to a double homicide. Police also linked him to 2 GameStop robberies. One ended with a police officer being shot. Chinuher has more on what a judge decided today.
James Gregory was arraigned today in Virginia Beach over a video. The judge read off his charges to him, including murder and robbery charges. Gregory was quiet. He was attentive throughout the whole thing, except when the judge told him he was denied bail, he chuckled and said, "I figured so." Police have connected Gregory to multiple crimes across 3 cities. He's linked to a double homicide in Virginia Beach last month, and then an officer-involved shooting in Hampton following a GameStop robbery. He's also linked to a GameStop robbery in Chesapeake that same day. His next court appearance for a preliminary hearing is August 25th. In Virginia Beach, Chinuher, 13 News Now.
Now, a man linked to James Gregory and the crime spree is scheduled to appear in court tomorrow. Police say Leonard Morrison is also facing charges in connection to the double homicide in Virginia Beach, the GameStop robberies, and the shooting of the police officer in Hampton. Police say Morrison exchanged gunfire with police after grabbing an officer's gun. Officers ended up shooting him, and medics took him to a nearby hospital. He is expected to be in court around 8:30 in the morning. Developing now, a man was shot to death in Hampton late last night. The murder happened in the parking lot of a KFC/Taco Bell on East Pembroke Avenue. We now know the victim's name is Eric Hunter. Our Elise Brown has more on what happened.
It was loud, quick, 8 shots. Just bat, 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 bat.
Shots fired just before midnight outside this Kentucky Fried Chicken Taco Bell. The bullets hitting 46-year-old Eric Hunter. Officers found him lying in the parking lot where he died, a month shy of his birthday.
Oh, it's crazy. You know, nobody really deserves that. And just showing where Hampton's going.
Detectives are investigating Hunter's death as a homicide. The victim's loved ones stopped by as officers pieced together clues and cleaned up shattered glass.
The whole family was out here, his aunt and stuff like that. They were devastated. You know, they were out here crying.
A once standout Hampton High School football player, people who knew him are paying tributes online. One person saying he was one of the best quarterbacks to ever play at the high school. In Hampton, Elise Brown, 13 News Now.
Right now, police are still investigating this incident. If you know anything that could help them, call the crime line. Coming up on 13 News Now at 5, we will hear from Eric Hunter's family.
New developments with a troubled dog rehab. Forever Home Rehabilitation Center is trying to get out of its lease at its Virginia Beach location. The group is making headlines after it adopted out the pit bull that mauled and killed a 90-year-old woman in May. Forever Homes claims to rehabilitate and train aggressive dogs, but former employees say otherwise. We have more on the group's history on 13newsnow.com.
Food stamps are supposed to help the neediest in our communities using tax dollars to fight hunger. But 13 News Now has learned scammers are using the websites we look at every day to commit fraud. We found food stamps and EBT cards for sale on social media. We've uncovered here in Virginia there are thousands of fraud allegations in just 1 year alone that could amount to a huge waste of your tax dollars. Tonight at 6, our 13 News Now investigation takes a close look at the issue and asks state leaders what they're doing about it.